What's up, everyone? This is Roots of Black once again bringing you the Septuagint. Yes, bringing you the Septuagint. Today, today we are bringing you majority of the videos today are going to be from cheat code. Up, down, left, right, A, B, start. We're going to give you a bunch of King David videos today because he's the ultimate cheat code. And he teaches you he's the heart of the Lord. So since he's the heart of the Lord, then you should want to know what's the heart of the Lord. So like I say, whenever you're at work one day for 8 hours, you should play Psalms in your ear for 8 hours straight. It should finish in 8 hours. I mean, it really should because I'm just thinking about when I go on my walks and how long it takes for me to go through, like, how many chapters are gone as I walk through, and that's only like an hour walk. So I can imagine, 8 hours of it, and pretty much I'm sure Psalms will be played, like really really played. Like I think you'll be done in probably four. I'm just like I say, I'm just deducing and using my memory of me going, walking around playing Psalms in my ear of how long it might actually take for you to finish the whole thing. But yeah, so we're going to go to Moon Plus Reader Pro. And as you know from the title, and from what I just said, we're doing Psalms. So this is Psalms 131, and I'm going to highlight it here because, I try to highlight at least the chapter part so I can know, that I did that chapter because this isn't coming from notes. This is just we're just going through and finding, well, basically, I'm not even reading it. I'm just looking at the chapters and say, oh, I'm picking that one, I'm picking this one, and stuff like that. I mean, I don't even, at the moment, I don't even know, what it's about to say, but I listen to Psalms so much that it'd be fine. It just really would. I mean, so it really doesn't matter about what chapter or anything is pulled from this book. It will always do you good. It is. Remember, man will not live off of bread alone, but every word that proceeds of the mouth of the Most High. Hallelujah. All right, so that's what we're doing. We are eating our daily bread. That's why we call our section that does this the manna from heaven. All right, chapter 31. A song of degrees. Lord, remember David in all his meekness. So remember, the meek will inherit the earth. That's what he's trying to say. Like, devotion. The meek and the poor will inherit the earth. So he's talking about his meekness, how much he endures them. And it says, how he swore to the Lord and vowed to the God of Jacob, saying, I will not go into the tabernacles of my house. I will not go up into the couch of my bed. I will not give sleep to my eyes, nor slumber to thy eyelids, nor rest to my temples, until I find a place for the Lord, a tabernacle for the God of Jacob. So remember, right, we're about to pause here. Remember, King Solomon was the one who built the the temple. Remember, he told because David found the spot and he knew where he wanted to build it at on the mount. But he told David because he's the man of war, he cannot build. You know, he can't build this temple because he doesn't want weapons of war to touch his house. I mean, it just is what it is. And David's the weapon of war, whether you understood it or not. Because most people were like, well, he was just, talking about he doesn't want weapons of war. Yeah, that's a part of it too. But David's a weapon of war. The Lord wielded him like a sword. You guys do understand that, right? That David is like the first king that the Most High picked. So he is the weapon. He is the weapon of the Lord. I hope you understand that. So he told him he could not build the house because he doesn't want any weapons of war touching his house. Okay, so all right, so now behold, we heard of it in Ephrath. We have found in the fields of the woods. Let us enter into his tabernacle. Let us worship at the place where his feet stood. So there we go. So you're finding out something secretive right there about why they chose that spot. Arise, O Lord, enter into thy rest. thou in the ark of thy holiness. So that's the ark of the covenant, which they carried the mercy of the Lord with them everywhere they went. Thy priests shall clothe themselves with righteousness, and the saints shall exalt. For the sake of thy servant David, turn not away the face of thy anointed. Who is that he doesn't want his face to be turned away from him? You should know this. Like why? Like why don't the church teach us any of this with me? We know why, because they are shepherds that we just learned of today. That I mean, not just today. I mean, it's just more. It always tell you that the shepherds are going to die, and the wickedness they are wrought, and they did not come from the Lord. And if they, what is it? What was Jeremiah? What do you do today? 23. Think it was. Think it's Jeremiah 23, where it talks about when they ask what is the trouble, from who is the trouble from the Lord, and it said to go tell them that you are the trouble of the Lord. You are, and if they say they aren't, then I will curse them and destroy their house. Like I say, you can do that to a priest right now. Ask them who the trouble of the Lord is. If they don't say themselves, then you know what's going to happen to them, because they said they're sent from the Lord, and he said that they aren't. You when that no, that wasn't, was that 20? No, okay, no, matter of fact, okay, so we did 23. I think it was 23, and I know we did chapter 1, and both of them were talking about that part, because remember all the prophets, and the first chapter of their book tells the story of why and what they're about to do and who they're about to talk to. And of course they're talking to the false prophets and the priest and the people there, so we already know that. And it says, for the sake of thy servant David, turn out of the way the face of thy anointed. The Lord swore in truth to David, and he will not annul it, saying, of the fruits of thy body I will set a king upon thy throne. So he just, all right, let me show you this here. He said the fruits of thy body that he's going to set. Okay, that's I like you. He didn't say King David. He said his fruit. It's a tree. King David is a tree. So the fruit that comes from him, because the branches they spread out and they bear much fruit. So one of the fruits that's coming from David is going to be the king. That's what's just being said right there in front of your face. If thy children will keep my covenant, so he's talking about the ones that can keep it, that are going to keep it. And these my testimonies which I shall teach them, their children shall also sit upon thy throne forever. So he's always talking about that one fruit, and then there will be more of them that's going to sit upon his throne. So because there's going to be prince and princesses that's going to come from there too. But we'll find that out later. For the Lord has elected Zion in Zion. He has chosen her for a habitation for himself, saying, so that's what I say, this is Mount Zion. That's his habitation. This is my rest forever. Here I will dwell, for I have chosen it. So that's his place. That's no one else's place. That's his place alone. I will surely bless her provision. I will sanctify her poor with bread. I will clothe her priests with salvation, and her saints shall greatly exalt. So, from that place, that's where the priests are going to be after the Messiah died. Period. Period. That has not happened yet. So, you don't know who any of the priests are and who the prophets are. Everyone else to you right now is probably lying. There I will cause to spring up a horn to David. I have prepared a lamb for my anointed. His enemies I will clothe with shame, but upon himself my holiness shall flourish. Okay, so like I say, this is King David Chico Day, because I mean I keep telling you that he's King, Prince, Prophet David. He has all the titles. I'm missing one. It's not coming to me right now, but I'm missing a title that King David has. But he has all the titles, and I can't see how people don't see this or understand that he has all of the titles. Every title that you want, that people discuss and think it will proceed. out of the mouth of someone else to say that they are sent by the Lord, that they are great, exalted, or any of that nature. King David has them all. But no matter what, he still will only be the prince. And he tells you that many times, whether you believe it or not, because that's the thing. All these human beings, even the New Testament tells you. You know how I feel about the New Testament. Even the New Testament, Peter, some it's a couple of other ones. Simon, I can't remember. I definitely know Peter said it. But Peter told you that this book is not left for interpretation. Who are you as a man to interpret what the Most High says? Think about that for a second. No, 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 no. It's up to you to understand what the Most High is saying, but there's no interpretation. No one, he interpreted it, and it's up for you to understand. What he said. You got to put in that work. That you can't interpret it your way. It's already been said and brought forth. His word doesn't come back void. And what we learned today, well, I mean, I've been what you probably learned today is that he checked behind his word to make sure he does what he does. So once again, this is the matter from heaven. Hallelujah.